towards the Orianna, as we will see the support bans here on to Vista. And Xin Zhao will be the jungle pick coming through, so they have the last support pick for counter pick here. As T1 could just block in the Aphelios Thresh, it's still up, it's still open. And I think this is the first real test that Hanwha Esports have had with their drafting since the qualifiers started. As wow, we'll see the Karma locked in here for the final pick for support. Adding a lot of mobility, very strong with the Xin Zhao here. It's going to be the hardest part.
Yeah, and we'll see if they can do it because, as we mentioned, they are the favorites here to defeat. It's nice to see. And let's see what he can do down on the bottom side. This ward is going to spot him. Looks like he's just going to go ahead and farm the enemy Krugs, as Owner's doing the same.
Owner coming up here, though, to look for Morgan, actually. Walks away from the Krugs.
Yeah. For a little bit more, bouncing on the head, but the stun comes in, and the flash will not be enough. And Owner gets out of there very clean. Doesn't even take an extra turret shot. So first blood, with that pressure on the top side, going the way of Owner. Other than that, you know, for the last 3 or so minutes, he's kind of just been hanging around the top side, not getting much done, as we do have a 2v2 coming in here. Vista just going to flash away from this one. You can see the poke damage is coming out in spades, and Gumayusi just hiding there on bush, just waiting as Owner was rotating down, but the damage is there as the Q will force the heal out, and Deft actually flashed forward for that one, so the kick comes in and the Q mixes as Morgan's just gonna die in the solo kill. As now Deft is going to be able to just walk away from this one. Keria not able to get the flash hook himself, and it's just chaos everywhere.
Yeah, definitely a lot of misplays going on here all at the same time, as Faker will get caught.
Oh boy, here we go again. But as Chovy is realizing, you still have to respect that. Flash is away from the ultimate. Faker going to eat 2 turret shots, but he will be just fine.
Very happy to solo lane against a mini Gnar, as we see the teleport commit.
Wow! They're all just ganging up on Deft. They found him there alone, and now he's just dead. And you see that Morgan goes in, gets Zhonya's away from his Mega Gnar into the wall, and now he's just going to die. And T1 are just easily cleaning up the screen.
I mean, you should not be fighting for this as Hanwha Esports, I don't think. So risky.
Well, they're going to try to force a fight here. Willer with that one, and the Aphelios is going to just steal away the Drake. They are going to get a nice amount of damage on the Keria here, as there is the AoE coming out from Gumayusi. He's just standing his ground and being a turret in his own right. He's able to take down Willer. You can see that Faker is kind of just corralling them all into the river here. He's totally fine. He's Cassidon with Everfrost. Nobody's ever going to be able to lock him down, as he will chase down Morgan. And the rest of everybody else on the side of Hanwha Life will be under this turret. As you can see, with the Karma and a full health, full mana Chovy, T1 are weighing their options.
Yeah.
Whether if they actually want to dive this, it seems like the answer could be no.
Yeah, I think it's better safe than sorry in this case. You know, you end up taking a fantastic fight. And Kana, once again, can always threaten the flank. They have no vision on him right now. Let's get close to that control ward, but Hanwha Esports, your best bet here is to just push mid, but if you get flanked while you're trying to do it, you might lose the game right here.
Mega Gnar just goes down, and T1, it looks like they're trying to just charge them. Owner really forcing it here on a Chovy. He dies immediately as the Emperor's Divide is not going to be enough to get Chovy to safety, and here comes Faker over the top. There is just no escape for anybody on the side of Hanwha Life now. You can chase for pretty much the entire time they will be alive, as even Keria and Gumayusi here still very healthy and trying to chase down this Varus, which they will get eventually.
Adapt is going to get caught here, as you say. No escape. And that's going to be a bunch of extra gold going into Faker's pocket, who's now, I believe, 4 kills in this game. If he did, we'd be in a very different scenario where Kana wouldn't be able to just walk up to a Gnar and say, your time here is done.
No Mega Gnar. Morgan's just dead.
Yeah.
I mean, he will flash, actually, and Kana doesn't have flash, but he is Kennen, so...
Just rush his way in.
He's not able to get that auto, actually. Another lightning rush, and it looks like the hop is not off cooldown here, so Kana will actually kill him through the flash down the incredibly long lane.
With Wit's End, and of course magic resist boots, he still goes down.
shots. They don't even need to commit anything to it. It's just Gumayusi goes down there, and let's see, we got the Sorelias. They know it's all Chovy or nothing, and they kick him into the team. He's able to shuffle his way out of this one, but fortunately that does mean that the rest of his team is kind of left alone. As Faker does take a lot of damage, you can see here, but he's able to survive and back away.
Kana has a really nice angle here, actually. If Hanwha Life Esports decided to keep pushing mid, he could have just gone over the wall there and slicing Maelstrom them. They do not commit. They're going to start the Baron as Hanwha Life Esports still have this Mega Gnar.
Chovy, he teleported back in, so Hanwha Life really trying to make a stand here, but Faker,
they see him
on vision. You can see he's trying to get away now. The Gnar into the wall. Again, it's level 16 casted in. He flashes in, takes a ton of damage actually, but that Zhonya's is perfect, and there's the second one, and he will survive. And all this focus on Faker, of course, Gumayusi is still just left alone, as is Kana and Owner.
Can't turn. Now they're going to try to group up for Baron. Kana still has slicing Maelstrom. Didn't need to use it.
That's insane. And you can see that Willer will just be taken down too, and the Baron is free here for T1. They're taking it relatively slowly, which I do respect. I mean, you have Kassadin and Aphelios, you might as well. But even though T1 took a small break to pick up the Mountain Soul, I would imagine that they're not going to let this game live for too much longer.
Okay, the Moonlight Vigil misses.
Oh, he lands
that doesn't.
I thought they were going to go in on that one, but taking it slow.
Kana's like, can I press R? Can I press R?
Yeah, just waiting for their moment, and there it is. Nice Gnar away from the team as Owner just laughs at Chovy, flashes over the Emperor's Divide and says, thank you very much, we'll take game number one. And that is going to be a utter stop here in game number one, T1. Directly into Lee Sin Kennen, you know that he's just going to be thrown around like a rag doll unless you keep Willer up there, but that's not necessarily what you wanted to do in this game. And so you saw Kana got super fed in the early game. Willer wasn't able to be proactive, and then all that early to mid-game pressure was just for naught. Unless he has a very cheeky answer to this. And there it is, Zilean!
Yeah, there you go. You called it out right away.
I mean, the second he didn't auto-lock it, it's like, well, what else are you going to pick? I was thinking maybe Yuumi, but Zilean is also really cool. It means that Chovy gets 2 lives.
Yeah, Chovy gets 2 lives, but more often than not, the speed boost is going to be what this is really about, right? And to deal with in lane as well. Pretty unusual pick here for Vista. Build up a new set of talent with some fairly expensive ones, right? Like acquiring the Rox Tigers was the beginning of Hanwha Life Esports, right? And Rox Tigers had already split up. Then, you know, you end up grabbing a bunch of players like Viper and Lehens, but you're not able to turn that into anything because the rest of the squad isn't really gelling just yet. This time you've got Viper, or excuse me, not Viper, Deft.
Sees this is happening, and the prio from the top side will be enough. Owner just going to be able to get that down. The long charge comes in. Level 6 to level 5, and with red buff, Willer says, no thank you. As now Morgan will be flanked here. No ult, no problem, says Kana. We got another fight here as Faker takes way too much damage.
But this is a really huge win. Bot is pushing hard. Morgan's returning back, and we'll see if Willer can actually maybe take his first Herald of the game here. As you can see right now, Owner has full vision, and here we go.
Yeah, you see a ton of damage coming out here. Deft has so many chakrams ready to go, but it's not quite enough. The bomb will land, and the Super Mega Death Rocket comes out and pushes Deft and Vista away for now.
You solo kill Faker. You don't have teleport, but you back off here. You don't use this bot prio to rotate up for the Herald. This is what is the strength of T1 is their macro decision making. They see an opportunity, they see a push there in the bottom side, and they just go for a Herald steal and they get away with it.
That was really cool. He used his W for the speed boost to get in range so that he could ult him, and he knew that the dash was down on the soldier. Now Chovy has flash, elects not to use it until now. Is it on time? He knows he has the Zilean, and here it is, but it's still 3v1 as the damage not quite coming out. He's going to get the kill onto Owner, actually. So a nice little consolation prize, but at least Faker will get his revenge with the help of his friends.
Yeah, he does, and they do have, of course, that Rift Herald that they can drop down. And because you almost kill Chovy, you're not successful, but you don't end up getting traded back onto.
Oh, man. That shockwave's going to land, and Faker doesn't quite have the cooldowns. Down he goes again. Another solo kill. Way if you don't have your flash available. So that flash is going to be even more quintessential here for the side of Chovy and Def. These relatively immobile carries.
Speaking of flash.
Yeah, he's being chased, and over the wall comes Owner. Morgan with that nice little speed boost, going to get flashed on, and the damage comes in, and he's just going to get chopped down by the Xin Zhao.
It's not a free fight going into this. We're going to go back to this moment here where you just did not have any vision whatsoever. Gets followed over the wall. And he commits the flash. Morgan flashes very late. He's not able to save himself.
Too much to handle as here comes Faker. You can see Chovy waits to flash, and that will be your doom. Has the res coming in, though. Deft will go down, and the res will not be enough. He will go down here to Gumayusi, who is now excited and chasing all of them down one by one. Rocket not going to get anything done here. Morgan still very healthy with some low-ish health bars on the side of T1, but still a nice team fight win here for T1.
Yeah, and Morgan, he's not out of this just yet. He's going to have to back off. Will not be able to stop this turret from going down. There's no vision on Faker during that moment, so they decide not to chase any further. Could have been a disaster. Morgan, once again, vulnerable. Scaria dodges the zillion blasts here, and T1 have Prio on this Drake. They have a cannon with slicing maelstrom. It's going to be hard to engage.
Oh, man. It's great the Zap came in. They're trying to just burst down Willer, but he will get rezzed here by the Zillion. They have to use that res very early on. And now it is just a straight-up 5v5. A lot of damage, a lot of poke coming out here from Chovy, who is just incredibly fast. The Chompers going to be good to zone him, and Deft, he doesn't have his flash, and there's no res available. And just like that, Azir is the most dangerous champion on the Rift. As nobody can approach him now, they zone him away. Chovy, no flash for him either. And he will try to get some damage in, but it will not be quite enough. As the flash is coming in, and Owner is just taking names here. As down will go the Zillion.
That's a Baron.
Is a huge fight win for T1.
Okay. You guys have better health bars than us, even though it's a 5v4 for us, but you can't enter. Faker's calls as he goes through.
Yeah, if he steps forward, I will go in. Jump into the back line and begin spinning, and maybe that gets something going for you.
I like the optimism, Valdez.
Yeah, you know, I'm trying to see the lines here. If you catch my drift. I mean,
Chovy, you got one chance. Gotta have to be now.
Hey, they're gonna get Owner into the wall, but immediately Morgan just dies. And that's the Wallets and the Infernal Drake speaking there. They're just gonna zone them all out. You got your res, but as we said before, it does nothing when you're behind. Hama Life are gonna be totally cleaned up. Even the Shockwave does nothing, doesn't even go off. That is a clean ace, and T1 should take game 2.
Yeah, Morgan wants to set up for Chovy's Shockwave there, but the ults, or not the ults, rather, the items are too far ahead for T1. They burst Morgan down instantly, and also Owner's Crescent Guard, once again, really ends up being a huge, amount of value here as he knocks everybody away, and there's just no follow-up for Hanwha Life Esports. T1, all it takes is one fight. They don't even need to kill the Baron, and now they are on match point. First time since 2019 that T1, and if they botch the Camille comps, they would be in the same situation they are now. I think the amount of practice they have with this style of play is very low. It's very rusty compared to how well they prepared the Camille drafts. And because Willer isn't able to pick up the slack, explosive starts to team fights. You have the Aphelios follow-up. But I think what is going to be the big game changer here for Hanwha Life Esports is going to be the amount of side lane pressure that for the first time Hanwha Life Esports will potentially have here, assuming things don't go disastrously wrong for Morgan in the early game.
Because tonight, so we'll see what happens here as we are hopping onto the Rift here for game number 3. T1 once again, try to be proactive, try to get into the enemy jungle.
I've watched this 3 times now, Valdez.
Yeah.
Kana hits level 4, teleport comes through.
Wow.
Deja vu.
Okay, well, this is proactivity. If you're looking for something to happen, it's Chovy teleporting to the top lane at 3 minutes and 45.
As simple as a teleport works out.
Kana's going for the kill. He's going to land the stun. The Q should be off cooldown soon. Look at all those minions doing damage, but he doesn't care. He's able to get through the minions. Morgan doesn't even flash. Looking for some more opportunities. They're going to get the flash here out of Keria. Looking now for the stun out of the Viego. They will land it. The shield will go into Willer. Do they have the damage? It's the question. This Leona is so tanky, they're turning it around. And Keria, alongside of Gumayusi, they're looking to get him super fed. There's the double kill. It's pretty gigantic.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I can overstate it.
And, well, we're having the roams up towards the Rift Herald tier. We do see that it is 4v4, but the vision only coming down now, as they will try to force this. It looks like this only level 5. Keria, but you can see that Willer's not able to get into the pit, and so they're just going to call off the play. Kana looking to extend this for T1. The stun not going to land. Morgan flashes away. We have Keria caught down in the river, though. Might go down here to Chovy, but he's just so tanky. I don't know how he keeps living for this long, but it's incredible.
This was such a great setup from Keria because he knows that if he stands there, Chovy can't engage in.
For Chovy to actually kill the Leona, even though she was only level 5, so kind of comical there.
Unfortunately, without a Sylas on the top side of that, exchange where we did see the Slicing Maelstrom and Emperor's Divide committed, you can't win that fight as Aurelia. You're not going to be able to take that fight under turret even. There's just too much CC.
The Slicing Maelstrom comes in, and, well, I guess he tried. But at this point in time, you're so far behind, probably shouldn't have gone for that play. As here's Owner looking for a bit more, just stepped under the turret, and Vista has to flash away. Willer trying to get in there, but he might just get danced on again as he gets stunned up, and Gumayusi gets another kill.
Oh, this is a disaster for Life Esports. This is your last chance to skip play-ins. As much as Atlas is, it felt like fate conspired with Atlas's joke about Chovy playing in play-ins for so long. We did get that one, but you want to skip that as Life Esports, and it doesn't look possible now.
He's going to land it. And there you go. He's got the hijacked Emperor's Divide, and Kana with no flash, no lightning rush. He is just dead as Chovy gets another kill.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's watch this again.
It's kind of like game 1, but even more extreme.
You're already at half health before you actually connect with your Vanguard's Edge. Watch Morgan realize in the middle of this exchange that this is unwinnable, but he is unable to escape, gets stunned there. The rest is history. As Keria is playing this so perfectly all game long, every aspect of every fight he's in, and then you chase here, and Keria's still here. You get the interrupt there. Owner's like, yeah, thank you for the easy knock-up. And then Chovy finally makes something happen. Yeah. We just watched this moments ago, but it's so little, so late.
It's just Chovy is perpetually, eternally stuck in promotions. It's like,
this is really dire for Life Esports. And if you don't have Chovy with this gold here either, we're talking about this game being over right now.
Absolutely. Well, Owner's just going to go ahead and get a nice little face check in. And down he will go. So that's a nice start here for the side of Hanwha Life. Keria now getting run down. Not quite enough damage, though. Steph is able to shell from very far away. That true shot barrage goes entirely wide as Gumayusi trying to follow up on the damage. But here's Chovy. It's the Wraith boss of Hanwha Life. He's able to get pretty deep, but it is Ezreal after all, who is able to heal and sidestep the damage. But Hanwha Life finally finding a little bit of a foothold here.
Keria is ready to re-engage. You got to respect this. As Hanwha Life, they're going to get the turret.
Oh, no. He forward. I mean, he arcane shifted forward, and then he immediately just got flash stunned, and he wasn't able to flash out of that one. And part of the reason he was doing that was because his team was following up. As the double teleport comes in, and Chovy's looking for another kill. He's going to pick up one more onto Keria. And now he's 3-0 in this game.
I think they might give him the Rift Herald gold as well. At this point, you double down on it as Faker and Kana still want to fight with the low health bars here. Kana does not have his ultimate. Faker's is coming up fairly soon here. 2 of those heals in the team fight, which is going to come through when you have that Zonia's and the stopwatch. You can also look for the double stun and an extended team fight. This is going to give you the most opportunity to carry you're ever going to get as a Sylas in this mid game. This is a huge spike for him, and he has to hit it right now.
Yep, exactly. He's gearing up for this fight. Memes aside, he is putting everything on this next one. Let's see what he can do. He's getting a lot of damage done in onto Keria already. Oh, and he nearly went in on that one. Might have been a mistake if he actually did.
And there's not enough follow-up just yet. if he does go in on that, that could have actually been disastrous, so he's probably pretty happy that doesn't happen.
Oh, another stun. In goes Keria, but again, where's the follow-up from T1? It's not there. Kana dies, and now Keria's isolated. Down he will go, and how will life? This is the best script ever. Maybe they come back from this because all of a sudden, now you've got... You can see that even Kana himself, he's using his abilities, trying to dodge everything. The slicing maelstrom, is the damage enough? Yes, it is, as the stun comes in and locks him down for the Q.
And that was the first time that he decided to go for the 1v1 was a long time ago. The second time was...
Oh, no. God, this is dead. Down he will go. Chovy collects number 4.
It's just it's the plan all along is to say, okay, Kana, you're free to side lane. So Chovy can come in and sweep up the kill.
Teleport's and look at this. They've trapped him. The root comes in on the Gumayusi. He's Ezreal, but who cares? Down he goes. And Faker's not even part of the fight. He's getting 1v1 by Morgan. And 2 teleports is all that Life need. Chovy's level 16, and they will take the Baron.
And this is, you know, Chovy got the Magi's as well. Just go all in. This is it.
He still has double stasis still.
Yeah, he never used that stopwatch.
Oh, Deft is maybe just dead here, but he's got a stopwatch too. Down he will go, and now the TP's coming in. Chovy gets the one, and the Crescent Guard steal is huge. As now Willard comes in, and the rest of the team, the time is bought for Chovy to have his team follow up, and everybody on the side of T1, minus Gumayusi, who did not want part of that fight, goes down.
Chovy is 12 of these 15 kills for Life Esports. The Crescent Guard steal is perfect. He carries the fight.
No, nobody's going to be locking down Chovy, you would have to imagine. And here comes Morgan. He's got the stun. Maybe reaching a little bit far, though. Willer has to go into a stopwatch. The team incredibly strong here, though, on the side of Life, and T1 will not take the fight.
Not really having to burn all too much here as Life Esports, but that was a very risky moment. Willer doesn't have to use his ultimate or flash. They still got a lot of mobility.
Oh, there it is. The engage on it. Oh, man. And now that Gumayusi goes down, there's just no hope here on the side of T1. They get the enemy 80 carry immediately. Perfect engage comes out from Vista with the vision denial. And that should be it. Life push in down the mid lane.
That's going to be it. Life winning their first game in this series. Nothing can stop them now, as this is a really, really big turn of events, and they do it on the back of Chovy Silas. Had to wait until literally the last possible moment to pull this one out here in our Worlds qualifiers, but he does it.
Kana gonna give it one last go, and the slicing maelstrom is pretty good, but it's not good enough. They are way too far ahead, and even with the backdoor armor coming in here onto the turrets, it's still not enough. The Nexus will fall, and how will Life keep their dreams of groups alive? If by thread you mean steel cable, then yeah, I would agree. I mean, he basically just put the entire team on his back.
Look at his damage compared to Deft.
When things were going so awry, you could see there, like, at 8 minutes, T1 took the Rift Herald, and it was like, oh, I guess they're just going to win 3-0, like, we're going home, and that's it.
What you're going to lose with the Orianna versus the Silas is obviously that carry potential that Chovy can put off in an extended fight if he gets fed, right? But it's banned away. If you're Chovy, in this particular case, you should feel very confident about your ability to lane against Faker because you already proved it in that second game. Again, small mistakes from Faker, but you're still going to do very well in this lane. And if you can gain prio once again, you can go to the top side of the map and help out the Aurelia.
We'll be hopping onto the Rift for Game 4. Here we are.
And we'll see how he does against Chovy this time around in this laning matchup, because Chovy did kind of style on him a little bit in Game 2, but wasn't able to turn that into a victory as trading in the bottom lane.
Wow, exhaust extremely early on here. Just trying to get a very aggressive trade going and take over control of the lane. You might look at it and say, oh, wow, he wasted his exhaust, but that's not the case. He gets control. He allows them to hit level 2 first, pushes Gumayusi back.
That's all it takes. Crab Raven his way back to lane. Willer, meanwhile, what?
Okay. Yeah, he's just dead. And meanwhile, we do have a 1v1 up on the top side. No stun available for Kana. He's getting run down, but he flashes to Owner. And now there's no flash available for Morgan. We're going to have the knock-up come through here as he's trying to get it, but actually he can't get that third hit.
Yeah, Chovy is going to be able to get ward control here. Actually drops a control ward down next to the red buff. They have one on the Drake. Ooh, that was a really nice arcane shift there. But he is monoless under this turret. These are close calls we're watching in this game right now, Valdez.
Yeah. You're not really able to do much there. Now Owner's on vision, and here we go. The Crescent Guard looking to save him. He doesn't want to have to flash, but he will be forced to use that summoner. As a one-on-one up on the top side, the stun comes in, but Morgan trying to fight this one out. A couple autos more could do it, and the flash will not save Kana. And this time, Morgan gets his revenge.
Right, these are the moments where you really start to feel the power. I was looking at his items, too. He's just got the Iron Spike Whip here, but with the minion wave here, he's able to charge up his Q. And then, look, he actually will take this stun. And then it's just Conqueror's proccing, but guess what? That's the end result.
이거지. 죽으면 성장하는 복원.
He's like struggling to get the words.
탑 나이스. 성장하는 복원.
Reactions.
Oh, here we go. And now you've got carry up in the top side. How about we add in Faker? Even a two-shot barrage. Like, God, the guy got one kill. You don't have to.
This is such an important moment. This is like game making potentially for Hololive Esports to get this sole point.
Yeah, it is quite huge. Having the Ocean Soul for Orianna Varus can only be awesome. Even the split pushing of the Aurelia would really like it. And you can see that they're going to drop down the Rift Herald T1 here, but they don't really have full vision of the Drake. It's been pulled out outside of that ward's vision that's in the pit. You see that Deft is already going back to the mid lane, just looking to push back this wave, so T1 give it up. The teleports are coming in, even a Chain of Corruption, and now they're going in onto Owner, but the charm is here, and Deft will survive. The engage does not work under the turret. Now they're trying to get on top of Willer here. They will at least get that. But still, it's a 2-for-1 in favor of HLE. Now Faker going incredibly deep here, as the stun is going to be mistimed, but it doesn't matter. He will be able to flash away. But the poke is already coming out.
And Kana, there's nowhere for him to flank to. He's just going to have to look for this one straight up.
He has flash. He should have his rocket belt, but you can see, here we go. The flash comes in, immediate cleanse from the side of Deft, and the engage from Vista is huge. Knocks up both Kana and Gumayusi.
Morgan's on the other side.
And T1 desperate to try to stop the Ocean Soul, and they will, but into the back line goes Owner, actually doing a ton of damage here, and Deft is kind of left out all alone. And somehow T1 are trying to fight this one back. The stopwatch timings are huge, as Gumayusi's still alive, and he should be able to clean up the rest of this fight. T1 somehow gonna
This could be game winning. Okay, they do have that ward there. They spot him. That's massive.
And Joby, he knows. I mean, there's nowhere for him to go. He has the flash, and he actually gets a nice amount of range onto himself. Owner not able to get the damage done onto this Orianna. And you can see Faker, he's desperate now to fight this one, but they will not win it. As yes, the Ezreal will live, but
time by T1's design, because they were playing very greedy, you can make this play. And yes, it looks like they're going to give up control of this Drake, but again, it's only the second for T1. And as I say that,
no arcane shifts. Can they get the knock-up? No, it's going to be Gumayusi. Denies the Ocean Soul.
That's pretty massive. You'll take a flash for that, but Baron's going to respect them.
Yeah, it's a big moment. And this draft from HLE, they have much better siege compared to the last one, right? I mean, you're looking at the Sylas compared to the Orianna, and even the Aphelios compared to the Varus. The Varus poke comes in. This is a very deep teleport coming in here from Kana.
He's so far away, they could just collapse on him.
He's gonna go in, and the charm comes in. He gets the Slicing Maelstrom off, but it only catches the support. Faker, though, gets a massive Emperor's Divide straight onto the two carries of HLE, but it doesn't seem to matter. Willer is here, Morgan's here, they're trying to fight it back. The big flawless duet comes in, and Willer is getting the resets now somehow, but it's not going to be enough, and Faker lives with just about 50 health.
He hits the perfect stopwatch.
야 딜러 넘게 딜러.
Look at how long he
딜러 다 잡았어,
holds
딜러 다
his
잡았어.
Sonya's. He's like, I've killed the carries. Carries are down.
볼만해.
Look at it. Zhonya's still up. He's waiting until the last possible second. And look at how low he gets before he presses his one key. It's insane.
And he's so calm, too.
나 미리 뜰게.
He's like, all right. He's like, okay, I mean, I guess maybe I can just solo this down, but Willer is in position for the potential steal. He's just going to ult over the wall. But do they have the damage output onto this objective? As it's going to be Rakan! Vista takes down the objective. They get the Ocean Soul. But look at Faker. He's just doing free deal from the bush. Not quite able to get over the wall, though, as now they're going to get the flash out of Gumayusi and Hama Life. They get Ocean Soul, and maybe now with 3 kills they can get more.
Oh, this is such a massive lead now for Hanwha Life Esports. They have the Soul. They have control over the map. Baron's up in 15. And this was a really decisive call from Faker and T1, but it ends up being the wrong one. Not only do they chase Hanwha Life Esports down to try to stop that mid push, but then they split back Faker off from the side there to try to rush down the Drake. Fail that as well. It's stolen by Vista, but that's not the big story. The big story is the kills that come through afterwards. And Hanwha Life Esports are looking to bring us to a game 5 here off this push.
Where did he go? Down goes the Ezreal, and down will go the Xin Zhao. Keria trying his best to just delay as much as possible, but Kana up in 3 seconds. Can he pull it off? He doesn't have Slicing Maelstrom. I think we're just going to go straight into a game number 5. Hanwha Life Esports, they do not want to deal with play-ins. They don't want to play into the memes of Chovy in play-ins, dunking on teams. They don't care.
Worlds if it was the old format.
And that has happened before against, you were talking about Samsung Galaxy-esque. That has happened before. And Hanwha Life, they may win this one. They may get their ticket into groups. You can see the damage that comes out here. Def this time, especially in the late game, he was just hitting every arrow. Actually, there's definitely a lot more room to be proactive, to make plays, and Vista has been one of the star players for Hanwha Life so far today.
Draven. Throwbacks to the Worlds Qualifier last year, where Gumayusi made his debut on the Draven. Will not be the case this time. The Aphelios will come through. And this is it. I mean, I mentioned it here. It's crazy this is the first time it's come up, but 1 year has passed since Gumayusi first stepped onto the Rift here for T1.
Decide our team that makes it straight into the group stage over at Worlds. Will it be Hanwha Life East?
Controlling side lanes and matchups he had no real right to do. Like the Gnar, you can give him that one, but the Aurelia games where Kana was looking for solo kills was just not acceptable, as Willer is going to once again go for the skank timing.
Take a look at this. They're looking for Gumayusi on the backside. They get the flash out. Willer's still here. He's still zoning him out of a lot of XP and gold. And there was a ward placed by Morgan in the river. He knows where Owner is, and he knows he's safe under the turret himself. So no buildup of the wave into a gank on the top side either. And Morgan will be fine.
Keria going to hold the wave here. This Gumayusi being flashless now is so frustrating to play as when there are so many threats. He'll, of course, still have his cleanse, but that's a massive gain early on for Willer, who loses nothing for it. As on the side of T1 here, you still have your top side that's going to be great to start. But Chovy has proven time and time again he's extremely strong at laning against Faker's Azir with this Orianna. And it's a very similar game. Will we see the early Drake take, as Owner is actually going to invade here?
They know he's here. And here comes Willer. He's going to land that stun. Well, he tried to, but here comes Morgan now. They saw him into the jungle, and Owner's going to get punished.
So greedy. And
I really loved that ward from Morgan on the top side. It's now flash engaged, but Owner is here. It's a 3-on-3, but the damage on the Guma is maybe too much. They get the kill, trade it back for the Alistair, and now the TP coming in. Faker's level 5, but the damage is still going to be enough. A double kill will be given over to Owner, as now Keria looking for a little bit more, as Daft is up against 3 low health members, but doesn't have a lot of mana. Will be able to push them away at least.
It's not able to punish or anything like that, and Deft will eventually hit that auto on the turret. Not able to make that happen for the SPAC now, unfortunately, as you mentioned, but teleport coming through here from Chovy.
Yeah, this is Chovy, and even Willer's here as well. The flash available for Kana, but this is an Orianna. You're not getting away from this one, and down will go Kana. Still T1, they took down that entire turret down on the bottom side, got all 5 plates. No Drakes taken just yet in this game, but T1 getting that bottom turret. They have some nice prio down there and could maybe look for it, but with the rotation of their bottom lane up to the top side, looking to maybe get more plates into this Aphelios.
Hey, this is a really aggressive move here from Owner. Once again, teleport coming through.
Yeah, teleport is in here as now Carry going very deep into the enemy jungle by himself here. The Aftershock is gone, and that's going to be a stopwatch that will save his life, but only for just a moment. The Slicing Maelstrom is not going to do enough. It's actually Owner that takes down Toby. That is the biggest part of this fight, as now Deft is all alone on the backside here. Owner looking for a little bit more, as Willer is Viego, but also Aphelios.
But also extremely fed.
And able to just get a bunch of kills on the top side and back away.
4-1-2 now is a Viego T1 committing this fight so deep and so far that
to keep Chovy, Deft, and Vista out of the left side of the fight. This is the Infernal Drake, so both teams looking to get it. Big chain of corruption once again. And look at that! Willer just walks in and steals it. Amazing that he's able to get that smite down, but here we go. The Slicing Maelstrom is pretty huge, but it's not quite enough damage as a big shockwave follow-up. Willer looking for the fight on the backside, and there it is! Deft is able to land that piercing arrow into the super weak, squishy underbelly of T1 that had taken so much damage in the fight. Guma trying to get the root down. He will get the one. And more pokes are coming out, and Chovy's trying to 1v3. Don't necessarily have to do that. You just took a fight in the Infernal.
He's like, still down on gold, but they're keeping the tempo, again, alive here. Don't want to give T1 2 Drakes.
Oh, Carria, but instant flash comes in from Deft. And the Chains of Corruption, and Carria, he's just
on the wrong side of this fight.
He's going the wrong way. He's like, oh, I thought we were blue side. We were blue side for 4 games, and now Owners super deep in there, and the damage comes out from Willer, and this gigantic Viego is on the chase. He's looking for more. We got Mr. 200 Years on the opposite side. Gumayusi trying to make it go, but Vista gets it going, and Faker is trying to 1v4 now, and he will be able to. He's creating the front line for Gumayusi on the Aphelios, and he's going to keep this fight alive.
Jovi's just barely going to get out of here. It looks like Faker still doesn't have his dash just
He'll
yet.
have it.
There it is.
Yep. And no dissonance, no mana here. He's got a Crab Rave, but he doesn't have a life anymore. Faker takes it down.
Calls on the Baron here, coming down, pings up here for T1. They're going to try to make this one work. It's 22 minutes in. Aphelios barely.
They do know. Willer's level 12. I mean, there's a way for him to potentially get in, but it's not going to be quite as miraculous as the Infernal Drake seal. And in fact,
he's going to go down here.
He's got a blast plant, so
your other favorite thing.
he's going to eventually die. But heroic effort, I guess. But still, it's massive for T1. The Azir and the Aphelios live, and Kana's got to be careful. As okay, the minions will help him out and eventually take his first kill. Chains of Corruption on the teleport play earlier on. Here's Chovy again, and you know what?
Faker greedy.
Yeah. Vista around the back here. He does have his flash, but Vista's just like, no, I know you have flash. We'll just wait for that. Doesn't even bother to use it. And that kill goes into the pockets of Chovy. As
you know, keeping this gold deficit fairly small.
Morgan, by the way, he teleported to the top lane for, I'm really not sure what reason. Maybe he thought he was getting dove and he wanted to escape. That's my best bet. As now we're trying to get on top of Gumayusi here, and Deftus is going to die. Vista extends so deep, and Gumayusi just laughs at him, and this might just be the way the game ends. Faker's going to survive. Gumayusi will as well. And Willer's all alone up against Owner. He's trying to get resets, but down he will go. And now T1 might have just broken the game and taken it for themselves.
Yeah, there's an inhibitor turret down. They can just push mid here. Huge, huge overextension, and that might just be how this best of 5 ends, as you say. 30 seconds on Chovy and Willer. Deft's up in 14. He's the one to get picked before it all. Morgan has to buy time here. There is a wave coming through for Honor Life Esports.
And Morgan on the Renekton.
See what he can do.
Trying to clear the wave. He has the Gore Drinker, and he will stay alive. And we got respawns coming in here, but
Vista just dies.
The call is to just take down the Nexus, and it looks like T1 will, in fact, secure the 3rd place seed from the LCK. He's happy. with his teammates. They got the job done in the end.
You can see Kana and Owner especially definitely a little bit.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Jason with the interview translation from Faker Guma UC after their 5-game series victory over Hana Life Esports. You guys qualified for Worlds group stage. How are you feeling, Faker? Somehow we are at Gauntlet, and somehow we are on the top seed in the Gauntlet run. And still, I'm glad that we got this best of 5 victory.
그렇죠. 구마유시 선수는 작년
Guma
LCK
UC, your
대표
debut
선발전때 데뷔를
was
했었는데
last year's Worlds Gauntlet, and this time around you were the one bringing your team over to Worlds. How are you feeling?
작년 이맘때쯤에
Last year,
생각나는데
you know,
그때와 달리
this
좀
brings back all the memory
많아지고
of the same period of last year. But I have, you know, I had bigger
정말 가고
desire
싶더라고요.
to
그래서
go to
광고
Worlds,
30대로
and
간 거에 대해
I'm glad that we
꽤
are the
만족스러워요.
3rd seed of the LCK. I'm pretty much satisfied. Guma UC, I think you dyed your hair blue.
그거는 결승전 때 지고
I mean,
나서
after we lost the
너무
finals,
마음이
I was,
허무하길래
you know,
기분 전환용으로
feeling too
좀
empty.
충동적으로
So I just
했습니다.
wanted to get some, you know, shift and swing in my mind.
그냥
Why blue
너무
then?
튀고 싶진 않아서
I don't want it to make it too, you know,
저희가 봤을 때
too
너무
much.
잘 어울리는 것 같습니다. 약간 부드러운 매력이 드러나는 것 같은데
Yeah, I really love it. Faker, what do you think of his new hairstyle?
일단 염색한 줄 몰라가지고
I didn't even notice.
최근에 알았거든요.
I just knew
그냥 좀
recently.
자연스러운 것 같아요.
It looks really natural. It looks good on him.
그럼 페이커 선수
Faker, you have never lost to Chovy in a best of 5 series. Were you aware of this kind of a record? And did you think that you'll be winning again?
선발전에서도
I mean, Chovy in the regional qualifier and also at the end of the spring split, I was a little bit worried about today's matchup, but still, I've never thought I would lose.
맞습니다. 페이커 선수가 말씀해주셨다시피
Faker, just like you mentioned, Hana Life Esports, they were making their miracle run and they were building up a huge momentum. So what did you focus on dealing with Hana Life Esports?
어떤 점을 가장
What was the
경계해야겠다라고
focal point that you were
생각했을까요?
watching out for against Hana Life Esports, watching their series? This is a question over to you, Guma UC.
약간 뭐
I mean,
데프트 선수가
Deft,
요즘 되게 좋은
these
플레이를
days
많이
he
해가지고
made
되게
great
폼이 엄청
plays.
올라오신
He
것처럼
was on,
보이더라고요.
you know, great
그래서
form.
경기 보면서 좀
So
많이
watching them
배우고
play, I
그랬는데
learned a lot.
그래서 좀
And because of that,
걱정하면서 했던 것 같아요.
I was a
데프트
little
선수를
bit nervous,
견제하면서.
you know, playing against Deft, and I kept my eye on him.
그러면 페이커 선수 오늘 사실 하나생명 e스포츠
Faker,
최근에 핫한 이제 탑
you know,
쪽에
Hana Life Esports, we were all just talking about, you know, Morgan's Camille Renakton and T1 constantly removed those picks away from Hana Life Esports. Did you guys think that top side will be the key in this matchup? Morgan, based on what he kind of showcased in the regional qualifier, it was the biggest change that Hana Life Esports had compared to the regular split, and that was the main reason of our kind of strategy and draft. And Kana, he is, you know, I mean, he has proven himself a lot on that cannon. So we wanted to just keep doing it until he loses. Well, game number 2 wasn't easy. You didn't really have control in the early game, but with the back-to-back Shurima shuffle from your Azir, you guys turned the entire tide around, and Azir has become a meta again. So what do you think of the meta shift as well? Well, heading into the end of the split, you get to see a lot of, you know, the reliable picks, the unproven picks. You know, in the beginning of the split, we have a lot of experienced picks, but now we are getting back to the classic ones, you know, what we all love. Guma UC, T1, the characteristic, especially in the series was about the lane priority, and your Jinx was doing a fantastic work, and then you decided to play Ezreal again after losing Game 3. I think maybe it's because of my, you know, lack of proficiency on Ezreal, and also because of the meta. I think Ezreal doesn't really fit the current meta perfectly. You know, bottom lane, sometimes they have to have the push priority, but Israel, he's the one who has to farm on their turret.
일단 롤드컵 가기 전까지
So
좀 열심히
before we,
해놓을
head
생각입니다.
to Worlds, I think we have to work on those kind of tier
그리고
lists
마지막
and
세트 같은
everything.
경우에는 진영을 이번에 바꿨어요. 원래 블루 진영만
And we
계속 하고 계시다가
finally had
마지막 경기는
some
레드 진영을
change
선택한
with the
T1이었는데 어떤
side
피드백이
selection.
있었는지
T1 finally
궁금합니다,
played
백선수.
on the different side of the map.
뭐 일단 분위기
Well,
전환적인 부분이 컸던 것 같고요.
I think
그리고
that was
또
in order to
레드
make a
진영의
momentum
어쨌든
shift
훅픽을
or
좀
swing,
가져갈 수 있는
and
이점이
also
있잖아요. 그런
the
것들을
priority that
최대한
red side can have is about getting the counter peak, and I think we wanted to try that out this time around. Game number 5 was so close. When was the moment that you guys kind of had the confidence to close out the
마지막
game?
때 창동형이
When
칼날부리
Hana
쪽으로 진입을
Had a
했는데
flank angle around the
상대팀이
Raptor
모르는
camp,
것
and
같더라고요.
Hana Life didn't
그때
know about
이거
it.
이 싸움 되게 좋게 가져갈
So
수
we were like, I
있겠다
think we'll be
생각하긴
able to
했습니다.
win this team fight.
그러면 이제 또 고전 질문이
We have
돌아왔습니다.
another
선수 2년 만에
classic
이제 다시
question
월드를
for
돌아오게
you, Faker.
되셨는데
You are
기분이
making your
그리고 혹시
appearance back
붙어보고
at
싶었던
Worlds
팀이나
after
아니면
2
선수가
years.
있는지 좀
Is there any
궁금합니다.
team or a player that you would like to make a
아무래도
face-off?
지금 중국에서도 FPX가
FPX.
강하다고 들었고
Yes,
그리고
I heard
저는
they are
항상
very
강팀을
strong
만나는
in the
걸 좋아하기 때문에
LPL, and I
이제
always
여기
love to
팀들과
play
만나고
against
특히나
the
저는
stronger
다시
teams,
강화를
strong
만나고
teams on other regions. So I would like to, get some revenge of the Korean teams as well, and also play against Korean teams as well. What about you, Kuma Yusi?
딱히 만나고 싶은 팀이나 선수는 없고
Not really.
그저
No one comes to
보시겠습니다.
mind. I'm just gonna clap them all.
그렇죠. 그러면 LCK 근본 미드라이너 4인방이 모두
And,
월주에 출전하는데
you know,
저도 이제
the
미드
premier
쪽을 보면서
LCK
걱정이 하나도
mid
안 돼요.
laners
페이커
are
선수는 어떤
all going to
생각이신지
Worlds. So Faker, what do you think about this,
아무래도
mid
그
laner
이제
heading into Worlds for
사인방이
LCK?
좀
The
오랫동안
4
해먹고
mid
있기
laners,
때문에
we have been having
네,
a really
이번
long
월드도 사실은
저는
저는
Ryan here in the LCK. I always believe that we are strong, and I think we are the strongest mid laner squad. And we're heading into a very big stage, It's an international event, so I want to showcase the power of the LCK. And Kuma Yusi, this is your first Worlds. What's your mindset or goal heading into that tournament? As far as I know, the AD carry lineup is also pretty strong. So I'm happy to be able to be part of them, And this is my first Worlds. This is my first international tournament. So I would like to display that I am also, powerful at international stage as well. And lastly, Faker, this is your 6th Worlds. You are finally back. Everyone is waiting for you. And message over to the
네,
fans.
아무래도 뭐
Well,
제가 네, 결승전에서 뭔가
in the finals, I
최고의 컨디션이 안 나와서
was not able to show the best of me, and it was a bummer.
다시 보여드리고 싶고
I hope I can, prove myself at Worlds, and
그동안의 모습
this time around,
좀더 나은 모습을
I hope I can show better Faker. And this will be the end of the interview from Faker Kuma Yusi from T1, and I'm gonna pass it back to our casters. Thank you.